Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends. And welcome to this, a brand new day, Hokey Smokes. It is very dark outside. I mean, from inside, a lit room here with, two big old lights and a reflective window and such like that. But it is still gray outside. It's raining, and when it gets rainy, it's all gray up there and not a lot of sunshine gets through. So it's dark and yay. It's not as light as it was when it was snowing, because snow at least reflects the sunlight, and that kept it kind of bright even when it was overcast. But life is life, The rain is necessary, and it's needed. We need to have it. A definite thumbs up on that. And of course, for the YouTube algorithms, hey, front loading of the video. If you could toss me a like if you like what you see in here, that would be very cool. If you could subscribe to the channel if you like what you see in here and you have not subscribed yet, that too would be greatly appreciated. I do enjoy as many comments as I can get. I read them all. I thumbs up every one. I try to answer as many as I can. I have a lot of executive dysfunction, but I do enjoy comments, so that would be cool as well. And I do wish to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These beautiful and awesome people literally help to keep me alive. I need to update the list. I'm having troubles on a lot of weird things pushing through my executive dysfunction. It is going to be done here very soon. But these beautiful and very awesome people are, well, literally beautiful and awesome. So thank you all so very, very much. It is greatly appreciated. Links in the video description, wherever it is on the device you happen to be watching this on. Yay, front loading of videos. Yeah, so it's dark and grim and cold, and that's okay. I like all that. Now, yesterday I talked about, aging and depression. And remember, while I, of course, had to relate it to my own life, so it wasn't just a random, cold, theoretical subject, it's, while I was talking as well about my feelings, it was as well a, this is going to happen to everybody. This is something I'm dealing with right now, but you're going to have to deal with it too as the human being. Everybody deals with this. So while I talked about it a lot yesterday and, related it to myself, it's a very human thing, so be prepared. But even though I felt extremely melancholy yesterday, very melancholic, I was fighting very hard against that depression that I was talking about. You cannot help your feelings of depression if you have biochemical depression or pathways that just click on when you're treated or you hear things. There's reasons why that depression and what happens is something you can't control. But how you react to that depression is something you can control. And while part of that was intrinsic, on the inside, my reactions and feelings to Bob Saget's passing, and the extrinsic, outside of me part, Bob Saget passing, it was still, I know, an overreaction on my part right then and there. So while I was trying to ride the depression and ride downward, I was also pulling on the brakes and trying to bring it up and out of that as best I could. Because overreaction of depression, that's bouncing off the edges of things instead of trying to stay at a more homeostasis level. Bouncing off the walls may be fun, but it's not exactly healthy. So I was working real hard, but I was melancholy all day, a state of not really being badly depressed, but not being happy, not being sad, but more, it's, you hang around where it's dark and gray and you sit in corners. You're not exceptionally depressed, you're just kind of rejecting anything that's positive and friendly while not wallowing in the negative either. So I was in that weird melancholic mood all day. But I have a general optimism that has kept me going. Even in the worst of times, I have stayed alive, and that's good. So I wake up even today after all this and still feeling all of the things that I do feel, and it's still general optimism. I mean, I'm alive. And I'm a sewer rat. I've lived this long. I will continue to survive as long as I possibly can. And that's a good thing. And of course, even though I say, oh gosh, he was 6 years older, there's not much left, I still have to remember, because I have firmly embraced, but I'm human as well, so I forget, I should have died when I crashed and burned with my alcoholism. I really should have. My body should not have survived this. When I was in rehab and they had done blood work on me, one of the natural side effects of metabolism is ammonia in your blood. So you're always going to have at least a little bit. I had so much ammonia, they had never seen that much ammonia in somebody that wasn't in an autopsy. I should not have lived through my end-stage alcoholism. So every single day is a day that this is a free day. I should have not survived way back in 2000. And then while I was married to my wife, I accidentally OD'd on methadone. When you're on methadone, you can really play with the dosages. I've gone from I was supposed to take 45 milligrams a day, but I would take a lot more at different times and I was good. But when I was starting on methadone, I took 12 milligrams over a 48-hour period. And if my kids hadn't found me, or had found me just 5 minutes later, I would not be here. I would already be gone. So again, all this is bonus time. In another universe, in this multiverse, and a whole bunch of them, just countless universes out there, no longer have a me in them with the rehab time. And countless universes out there no longer have a me in them from that methadone time. So yeah, I'm not going to say borrowed time because it's not. It's just, this is bonus time. It's gravy. It's a gift, a present. So as much as I may be depressed and melancholic about all this stuff, at the same time I am optimistic, and hey, anything I have, any day at all, is more than I really, really should have. So I'm not going to complain too loudly about that. I just wanted to stress that while talking about that yesterday is not specifically a me thing, but yeah, it relates to me, but it's everybody. If you're a human being, thumbs up. Now, there is some other stuff that I do want to talk about. I mean, because I went on walkies and I did stuff, and that was just boring. I played games. That was boring. Nothing new, nothing different. The only thing I'm really working on here right now that's new and different every day is the setting of the razor's edge and all that in my head. I have got the whole story of when old Ray and the Speliodonkus, they decide, he decides, she goes with, he's seen enough. And so he, not knowing what the inside is, decides he's just going to end the game in that fashion by just heading as far in as he can go. But it's a 9 million kilometer ride to get to the beach, so it takes a while. Eventually he's been traveling so long, he forgets everything but traveling. He forgets everything but the Speliodonkus and traveling. Once you get past the first 1 million kilometer mark, you're past the worst of the dangers. Once you get to the 2 million kilometer mark, you're finding that life is really easy out here. It's not dangerous. And once you're past the 3 million mark, if anything hurts you, that is weird. And then from that point on, there is no stress, no strife, because all of the infinite energy flowing upward through the island and then out through the doorway and into the rest of our universe is healing and soothing and renewing, resuscitating. There is none of that evolutionary pressures that we have had because of resource competition. There is ease and simplicity through plenty, and the further out they go, the easier things get. Easier as in it's easier to survive, and simpler in that there's not been that fight. Until the last, million kilometers is just simple grasses and simple small insects and mammals, and the further they go, the grass starts to fade until there's just like 300 meters of just bare dirt, and then the sand at the beach starts. And then it's it's a 1 million kilometer walk along the beach, but luckily the heat, just pleasant. The sun never burns. You just walk. If you ever feel a need for sustenance, a simple sip from one of the frequent pools of water will sustain you. I might as well finish up with this one because as they get out there, I mean, when they start on this, Ray starts walking on the beach and just tells the Speliodonkus, I can't ride you. And you can't tell me that you can't just move on your own at this point. And so it starts to move forward. She does. But as she's rolling forward onto the beach, all the new stuff that he has added to her through the centuries is just falling off until when she is rolling next to him on the beach, I'm getting emotional because this hits me on an I'm 14 and I am deep level and I have a stunted emotional growth. So yeah, I'm getting emotional here. And it's just the original Speliodonkus 1.0, just rolling along beside him on the sand. And once they get about a third of the way through that, she gets a voice. So they spend a lot of time talking, but after all the centuries that they've been together, they're very comfortable with each other's silence. They're very comfortable with each other's presence. All this spare energy, healing, renewing. And as they walk, he forgets even just why they even left, but he never forgot her. And eventually, there's so much that they're about 2/3 of the walk along the beach, and he doesn't know when it happens, and she can't really tell him when it does, but she's just walking along, emotion again, walking along beside him in a human form. And she's got an appropriate body, you know, she's thicker through her hips and waist, and she sags, you know, appropriately for her age. She's got gunmetal gray hair. You know, she has wrinkles at the sides of her eyes and hair on her nose and the sides of her lips, and she's appropriately old. She's like Ray. She doesn't really age that way, hits a certain point and then stays there, just becoming more like herself. But of course, to Ray, well, she looks just like he always thought she did. So they finish the walk together. And when they reach the ocean of just infinite possibility, they do, I'm 14 and this is deep. They reach the point where it's just, you know, he wonders, should we go forward? Should we go back? This is not death, but it is an end. But it's, to go back would start it all over, and to reach a point where he would give all up again. So they're going to just walk into the ocean. And as he tells her, there's only a few things that he really knows and remembers. He remembers her, and he has always loved her, and he loves her now. And no matter what happens in this new universe, he will be there for her. And of course, she tells him back that, yeah, ever since her beginning of her existence, she has loved him. And yes, this is a difference. It is a change. No one knows what's going to come up, but she will be there for him. And together, that's all they really need. And so they link arms and walk off into the ocean, and by the time the water would be up to their waists, of course, they aren't there anymore. They are just diffused into the infinite, part of everything. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments. Tomorrow, hopefully, I'm going to talk about the King in Crimson. It was supposed to be a big King in Crimson day today, but, you know, there we go. I've opened up 24 hours where the comments in my community tab. Going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments. Isn't many, but that's okay. Anything more than 0 is awesome. Thank you so much. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. And even though I got an American Sign Language, well, oh boy, memory's getting better slowly, but hey, you know. We have Travis Quinn, thumbs up, and boy, alcoholism will age you, so please be careful. And Favel, well, I'm sorry you lost everything, but hopefully things will go well. Coco's, thumbs up. We have Ben B, greatly appreciated. She loves B. Burnham, thumbs up, and thank you very much for the comments. We have Christos, greatly appreciated, and that is it. 6 people who left me comments in the past 24 hours, greatly appreciated, thumbs up. Hey, as stated, anything more than 0 is awesome. You get me out of my head and into the world, if only for a short time. Dealing with real people, if only in text. Thumbs up for that. And of course, I don't know what device you're watching this on, but I have in the video description, there's links to all of my channels, to Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and again, I want to thank all of these Patreon patrons, these beautiful and awesome people, literally, are helping to keep me alive, and it is greatly appreciated to no end. A definite thumbs up. I enjoy metabolizing, and I know that my kitty cat is many problems that she's having right now, and I know that my hamster enjoys metabolizing as well, so thank you so very, very much. It is appreciated. If you'd like to help me out without becoming a patron, I do have a PayPal link, wherever that is, and of course I have an Amazon wishlist link, if you could check that out. Don't feel obligated or entitled. I'm trying to wing and change up my spiel here, and I've gotten lost. Let me see if I can find out where the track and the trail is here. If you cannot donate or you do not, cannot or don't donate, I take all good wishes, deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest, so thumbs up for that. If you could toss me a like, appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence, and of course, if you could hit the notification bell on the subscription button, that would be very cool. I found the breadcrumb trail, made it back to the to where I was started. Yay, a very good thing. Well, hokey smokes. I'm always working on stuff in my head. It's stated today was supposed to be a big King in Crimson day, talking about the King in Crimson and their plans for the world and how they do things. Again, stressing how much uncanny valley they are, because they are very uncanny valley. I mean, they do things that are completely non-human. They are fully aware that it looks and feels very off-putting. But in some ways, they don't care. You have to accept them as who they are. So they try, but they're not going to bang themselves as a round peg into a square hole. So hopefully tomorrow I'll get that done. Please, of course, seek creativity, positivity, and balance in your life. These are good foundations, not the only ones, but a good start. And of course, with the Covfefe bug still raging, and oh my god, records being set for people getting it and dying. So please, it's not a joke. This is horrific. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. Try not to touch your face. Maintain your social distancing. Get vaxxed if you haven't. Stop being part of the problem. Get a booster if you can. Hokey smokes, people. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side. And that is still a very good thing. Well, I mean, at least in my book.